Host.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fucked up, crazy, and fun edition of Pink Sock Podcast. I am your host, Pink Socket Sized, and this is Pocket Sized Dwayne The Rock Johnson Garak. And today we're going to be joined by the talented, the horrifying, the fang banger himself. We have Davey Calabrese.
Mother, Daddy, how would you like for your daughter to bring this gentleman home for dinner? You laugh about that. Did you know that every time they bring his music home, they are bringing him home?
Davey Calabrese. How you doing, brother?
A round of applause for me.
You just came up with that intro like 5 minutes ago too, by the way.
The fang banger. You like that one?
Yeah, classic. Yeah. Shout out Wednesday.
So that's a cross of virgin blood. Was it like a baby virgin or?
Well, no, definitely not babies. Never heard babies, but baberinos, yeah, sure.
So you're not going full on guar and just covering his eye?
No babies, but chickarunos, yeah, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. So what is going on in the world of Calabrese nowadays during the whole pandemic world?
A million things. Well, since you played one of our TikToks, we're popping off on TikTok. Thank you to the lords of TikTok. A lot of new people are finding us through the power of TikTok, so that's cool. We have a podcast as well, Calabrese Mystic Cult of Horrors podcast. Me and my brothers, Bobby and Jimmy. Hey, there you go.
I'm prepared.
Nice. Yeah, and we're shooting for an EP, and then I was talking to guys the other day, and Bobby's like, what are the possibilities of having something by Halloween? And I'm like, well, better fucking crack down on this shit if we're gonna do some Halloween shit.
It's coming fucking close.
Yeah, so yeah, if all right, let's just place this right here. If it does come to fruition, we're thinking like 2 crispy fucking songs with at least 1 music video and hopefully a physical vinyl or something like that. But
oh, nice. Fingers crossed, because Halloween is coming very fucking close.
Yeah.
And speaking of TikTok, we do have all of your social medias. If you want to follow Calabrese on social media.
See if you got that right. 6666. Yep.
Yes. I was confused about YouTube because I'm like, that's the only one that's not 666.
Dude, I know.
I'm like, what the fuck?
So the whole
That
thing
you
about
put that on there?
well, so we got on YouTube very soon. And before it looks how it looks like now, but like, how do I explain this? The 666 only came about when like Instagram and Facebook popped up, because so Calabrese is our last name, but it's also a family surname for a lot of Italians. So yeah, Calabrese was taken by a bunch of people on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So Bobby was the one who thought it 666, to make it spooky. So there you go. But originally, YouTube was youtube.com/horror rock. But you know what? I guess I did change it to Calabrese. I guess that was my fault. Fuck.
That's your own fucking fault. What do you
Fuck. Yeah.
So I looked up Calabrese, and are you aware of what it means?
What does it mean, Mr. Pink Sock?
A bright green variety of broccoli with a dense head.
Yes. Broccoli, hot salami, pizza.
Is that your stage name? Davey Hot Salami
Oh yes.
That's the new single.
He has a dense head.
Salads. Yeah, when people find us on TikTok, they're like, why are you named after a salad?
I looked you up to do like promo pictures, and all I got was fucking broccoli.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Should have put that out with the band logo.
That should be the new album art. Your guys' faces on stock of freaking broccoli.
I love it. Let's do it. Hell yeah.
So you are big into horror, as you can tell from the fucking background. What is your favorite horror movie?
What's horror again?
It's that building you go to and have sex with prostitutes, I think.
There it is.
I thought it was Twilight.
Yes.
What'd you say, Greg?
I thought it was Twilight. That's horror, right?
Well, I don't mind Twilight. It's not my favorite, but my absolute favorite is Army of Darkness with Bruce.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yes. It's a good time. Bruce is in it. It's got the practical effects. Cool story. What can you want?
Did you hear that he's going to be producing the new Evil Dead movie?
Yeah, they're doing another one.
So prequel, isn't it?
What's that?
Wasn't that a prequel or something like that? Or
I don't know.
I
just wish Bruce was in it though.
yeah,
that would be badass.
Bruce is Evil Dead.
Well, I read a rumor somewhere that Freddy versus Jason movie was supposed to be like the comic book. It was supposed to be Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, but Bruce Campbell wasn't available. Could you imagine?
Cool.
Could you imagine that shit?
Cool.
Battle Royale.
So speaking of horror movies, we have a new Scream coming out.
Really?
Yeah, and a new Halloween. Halloween Kills.
Oh yes, Halloween Kills. Yeah.
The new
I've
Scream.
actually yet to see the trailer though. It's out.
I would show it, but copyright.
Yes, they will get you.
Well, the new Scream is kind of confusing because it's a sequel, but it's just called Scream.
Oh yes, they're doing like the Halloween thing. Are they just wiping it? Are they wiping the anthology?
Well, no, they're not
It's been a
wiping
while.
anything. It's a sequel, direct sequel from the last movie. Just it's called Scream.
It doesn't make sense.
That's just confusing. You know what that reminds me of? All right, this is for new bands getting started or people just creating businesses or whatever. If you're trying to think up a band name, just fucking Google it first. There might be another band out there with the same exact name, which will confuse people, and you don't want that.
Well, sometimes you end up with bands that break up, and then one member starts the band under the same name, and so does this guy, and then you end up with like two LA Guns or two.
Yeah, pretty much.
Misfits. Yep.
The Misfits.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you did interview
Ghost fell
Alex.
into that too.
Yeah, Ghost. You did interview not a member of Misfits recently, but you did interview Alex Story of Doyle. That's a damn good interview, by the way. Go check it out on
Yes.
Spotify.
Thank you.
Like that guy is fucking nuts. I actually have a funny Alex Story story. I went and saw Doyle, and I was right on the rail, and Alex was getting ready to talk, and I just decided to yell, "I fucking love you." Well, he looked down, eye to eye. He gazed into my soul, and he said, "Put your fucking cock in my hand," and put his hand out. And he's like, "I'll beat it until it falls off." And then he played the next song. That dude,
He's a lover.
he knows how to really get the ladies.
Yeah.
So what's the craziest shit you've seen at shows? You've been around a while, since 2003?
We're a brand new band. We just started a couple weeks ago.
You guys have a fuck ton of albums for just starting a couple weeks ago.
They're good.
The demos.
Let's see. What have I seen? Someone streaked across the stage. And no, it was not a lady. It was a naked man. But yeah, someone just ran across the stage all naked while we were playing.
Well,
Like, okay.
they're lucky they're at a Calabrese show and not a Manson show.
Would they have? What would happen?
Oh, you didn't hear that story?
No.
This guy jumped up on stage while Marilyn Manson was performing and decided to flash Manson. Now, Marilyn Manson doesn't like being outshone. So Manson dropped on his knees, sucked the guy's dick, and spit his own cum on his face and shoved him off stage.
No.
Now, the funniest part was his dad was in the front row. Manson's dad was in the front row.
No.
Yeah. And Manson actually went to court for sexual assault, and his reply was, he got off in 3 seconds. How much of assault was it?
Damn.
That's a burn.
Wow. how long ago was this? Like,
This was a while ago. This was like 2002, maybe.
okay.
Because remember when Bill Maher had that show Politically Incorrect?
Okay, around that time.
Yeah, he had Manson on that show with Mrs. Brady of the Brady Bunch, and they brought that up, and she's like, "Is he gonna like perform fellatio on this show?" And he's like, "No."
Man.
Yeah, crazy fucking stories, man.
Yeah.
From that camp. Wouldn't have been the first time Manson sexually assaulted someone. I've heard that actually about him. Don't go on stage or backstage, I guess. So, are you a Motley Crue fan by chance?
I like Motley Crue, yeah.
Have you seen the recent shit that's been going on in that camp?
As far as music?
Kind of.
Well, the latest Vince Neil concert.
I guess Vince Neil is claiming he's ready for this stadium tour, and he only performed half of a show and left, and then he canceled all upcoming shows because he can't perform right now.
Well, maybe he didn't get in shape enough, or it's quite a deal to be up there, and everybody's been sitting around watching Tiger King, so
and eating Fritos.
So yeah, but he'll be back.
It's going to be really sad when a lot of bands go back on the road because they're like, we haven't been rehearsing.
Well, Foo Fighters played Madison Square Garden recently, apparently.
That's because they're the fucking Foo Fighters. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl is literally Satan. He was in Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Yes, he was.
Playing Satan. Speaking of, I'd like to give a little promotional shout out. Ryan Roxy of Alice Cooper is interviewing Kyle Gass of Tenacious D tomorrow. So go check that out on In the Trenches podcast. Do you have any guests coming up on your show?
Yes, but it's a secret until it's released.
Yeah.
Release the Kraken. Come on now.
The day before. All right, I'll give you a hint, and then you could try and guess. Meow.
Meow. Is it a member of Super Troopers?
Wrong. Gorak?
I'm just gonna wait, dude. I watch your episodes anyway.
Thank you.
You guys have one of the best podcasts around. I would say the best, but then I'd be talking down on myself.
Why, thank you.
How long have you guys been doing the podcast? Since the pandemic started or before?
Let's see here. I think we started. Goodness. All right, so Rachel's in the chat. Okay, maybe Rachel could tell you, but she's punk pansy showing up on the comments. Let's see here. I think during Halloween time we started the podcast where it was us just talking about whatever, and then opening up fan mail. It was just that. But I've always wanted to do the thing where we conversational interviews with people that we love, and I finally got Bobby and Jimmy on board, and then bing bada boom, started rolling the ball.
That's awesome. Like some of the guests you've had, I'm impressed. I'm like, wow.
The Wednesday 13 episode was good.
Wednesday 13.
Thank you. Okay, all right. Stroke the ego. Who did you like the best? What stood out? What stood out to you guys? What do you think?
As a huge Wednesday fan and Alex Story fan, those two episodes was the two that really stood out. And we do have a guest from the chat for your guest. You can say yes, no, or go fuck yourself. But tame down a faster pussycat?
Wrong. It does have something to do with the cat, though. Yeah.
Is it Slayer?
This one's more of a visual hint, okay? You'll see him do this a lot.
Scott Hall?
Why he says hey yo?
It's Razor Ramon. Is it Ric Flair?
Dude, I would love to get some fucking wrestlers on the podcast. I love Diamond Dallas Page. He's great.
Oh, you kind of You kind of have the old school Diamond Dallas Page earring thing going on. Back when he used to come out, remember that shit?
Oh, yeah. Was it WCW? Fucking
Bang!
cutter and all that shit. Yeah.
Did you hear he sued Jay-Z over that?
No.
Yeah, Jay-Z used this as an album.
This all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, Jay-Z used that as an album cover, and DDP sued him and won. That's why you don't do it anymore.
Hell yeah. Good on him.
What's this have to do with Jay-Z anyway?
Well, the whole if you want to get into conspiracies, so it's like people say this symbol is like, like the eye, like
the Illuminati.
The Illuminati shit. So like, oh, Jay-Z's a part of the Illuminati, Beyonce, anybody who does this, you're contributing to Satan. But yeah, he's probably a wrestling fan.
Bang!
And he probably did it on stage, Jay-Z, and people were like doing it back. He's like, hey, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's DDP's symbol for sure. Like, it's a big part of him. But it's like the same thing with Gene Simmons trying to, that was like a thing for a while.
Gene doesn't do this. Let's clear that up right now. He doesn't do this. He does the I love you.
Oh.
But he's trying. He's trying to copyright this, but he actually does this.
But it was mainly Dio. Come on, you gotta get credit for Dio.
Dio, and there's also a band that Davey might know. I forget their name. They were known for like being a satanic rock group back in the '60s, and they did that.
It's like, can you copyright a hand sign? Like, it's like, are you gonna copyright this shit? You know what? I'm gonna copyright this shit, dude.
I'm gonna copyright this and everybody that uses it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how far are you gonna go?
Copyright this.
Yeah. How far are you gonna go, man? Like,
get a tattoo and put copyright underneath.
I actually heard that Jerry Garcia copyrighted this.
Gun.
Oh, what is it?
Thing?
What's in the cup?
Only the finest blood, of course.
Ooh, I thought it was going to be like urine, but
no urine today, just some blood.
Do you know what a pink sock is before you came on the show?
I figured it had to do something sexual.
Oh, you've been watching the show. Okay.
I'm gonna guess.
I've been bragging on about this show.
I have two guesses. Pink sock. It is a sock that you put on your dick that's supposed to be like a pussy.
I mean, it could be.
A pussy or the other side.
No, what it is if you have unlubricated sex too much, your asshole will actually fall out. And the dangling mass looks like a sock. Yeah. So, welcome to the show.
Fuck, what is this?
No, the reason why I named it that is because people that don't know what it is, like, oh, it's cute and innocent.
We're here to educate people, so there you go.
Yeah, this is actually an educational program.
Son of a
We
gun.
try.
All right.
So we do have some promotion for you.
Oh, love it.
We are going to do a little promo here for you guys.
The neck pentagram. This is one of the more popular and they think one of the more beautiful occult symbols. Did you know that they actually attract demonic power? That's what they're designed to do. You put them on your body and demonic power is attracted to you.
So does that come with the demonic power? Or
Right here.
You can buy it.
20's left. 25 is left. Get yourself one.
Oh, is it only limited time only?
Limited time, dude. Do you guys not have one? You guys got to get one after this.
I know.
I'm
got some more t-shirts though.
I'll get one. Does it come with the demonic power in it, or do you have to buy that separately?
What do you think?
I was hoping like a big flash of light would just come out, you know.
Put it on and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Put it on, see what happens. Do you guys have any shows or anything? You're actually, if I'm not mistaken, you're only like maybe 20, 30. You're only like 20 or 30 minutes from me. So do you have any upcoming like local shows or anything?
We are waiting in the wings right now, like bats, of course, and sooner or later, just waiting for that nice opportunity. But we're not doing anything. Wait, what's you saying? What's Rachel saying?
As the official Calabrese witch, I've blessed all the pentagrams with the power of Satan.
All right, cool. Hail Dracula.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So yeah, we're waiting in the wings, but we're not doing anything, right? We're making that new music, so there you go.
Well, I figured because Arizona did lift all regulations, I figured you guys would be working on shows or something.
Well, the thing is, there's a million bands, if you haven't noticed, jumping into the road or on the road, and like it's just very, I guess I'm gonna say it, it's very congested with a million bands. Like, I don't want to go be down the street from Rob Zombie and he's playing or something like that. Or
it's beautiful, but it's a disaster.
Yes, like, oh yeah, you're competing with people. Only have so many dollars, right?
Yeah.
If like Rob Zombie is even like on that Saturday and you're like on that Thursday, you know what I mean?
Call Rob, open for him. Fucking fix this.
Yeah, actually that is the solution, because I'm not going to worry about Rob Zombie being down the street. We're just going to be with Rob Zombie. So
yeah,
they're
I
gonna
have an
to worry
idea.
About us.
I have an idea. Each genre of music should get together and create the COVID Roadshow. It is a touring festival where all bands of that genre are touring together, so that we don't have to worry about shit like that.
And that is kind of like it's
Ozfest.
Well, yeah, there's Ozfest, but there's like this brand new goth version of Coachella. It's called what's it called? The Dead World? No, it's like a new. It's like the festival sold out and like
Gothcella?
Gothcella, essentially. Yeah, it's Gothcella, but like yeah, that's kind of like that. And Morrissey's playing and Bajas and shit like that. And yeah.
Sounds pretty killer. I actually saw there's a lot of festivals too coming out in California. There's one that I'm going to in Louisville, Kentucky. Like, there's a lot of good festivals coming out of the woodwork. Hopefully they stay.
There's none down here. We're in lockdown again for another week.
Son of a gun.
I feel kind of bad for people in Australia though, because they're in lockdown and they don't get to go outside and experience almost getting killed by kangaroos anymore.
I actually went for a walk yesterday, just around the beach, around from my house, and it was fucking packed.
Have you ever been?
Kangaroos aren't just walking around, are they?
No.
Exactly.
they just pop out for the bushes.
With fucking boxing gloves on and everything.
Ready to knock somebody out.
See, in the United States, in the ghetto, you have to look out for people trying to kill you. In Australia, you got fucking kangaroos popping out of bushes and shit. Give me your money.
Oh man.
Did
you see that? Did you see that video of a kangaroo putting a guy's a dog in the headlock?
Yeah.
No.
It went viral maybe a year or 2 years ago. This guy went like on a bushwalk with his dog. This kangaroo just went up to his dog and put him in a headlock. And the owner just went up to the kangaroo and just punched him in the face and let the dog go and just got stunned.
Is it true what they say about kangaroos that if you see one in the water, don't approach it because it will drown you? Is that true?
I wouldn't be so surprised.
That is fucking scary, dude.
Yeah, I know. Like, if you confront them, because they get really protective and they got like really sharp claws. Apparently, they can just like scratch you down the chest really bad.
Jesus Christ, and Netley, and
they're very protective animals.
Like, Jesus,
but don't piss them off, Mike, when you come down here, right? I'm just giving you a warning.
Have you been to Australia or anywhere out of the United States yet?
Yes, we've been out of the United States, but yet to be in Australia. That'd be cool.
Oh, please.
Yeah, we've been to Europe, Mexico, England, United Kingdom stuff like that.
Oh, you've been to Mexico.
German.
Have you been to a donkey show? Since you were in Mexico?
And witness a pink sock? No, we didn't.
No pink sock.
No donkey pink sock. No, thank you.
The ongoing joke on the show is I tell people, thank you for coming on my pink sock.
Do you guys have shirts? That's what the shirts would say.
We're getting shirts.
We're talking about it. Yeah,
we're getting merch made for guests and for just the public. I'm going to get a shirt made for the guest that says "I came on Mike's pink sock." On the back, it has the link and everything for the YouTube channel, and then the shirt for the public is "Ask me about my pink sock."
Oh, speaking of, this is meta. All right, so we're on your YouTube channel. But just like ours, it's not Calabrese 666, it's Calabrese. Yours is just Mike, isn't it?
It's Mike Usnick. It's my name.
Why isn't it the Pink Sock Podcast YouTube channel? It's confusing, Mike.
Because
it got me too when I first watched this.
The reason why is because my YouTube channel itself was already created, and I didn't feel like switching back and forth between YouTube channels. I'm lazy. That's why.
Now this is the time. Now change it, please.
if I change it, then everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck happened to Pink Sock?"
It's rebranding, Mike. That's what that's called. Because let's see here. I'll be very meta and be very frank. So classic squeaky wheel gets the grease. Okay. So Naomi kept emailing. And I'm a busy guy, but eventually the combination of Naomi emailing and then Gorak being a part of the Calabrese community and recognizing his name and all that stuff is the reason why I'm here. So, when I went to look up the YouTube channel. Oh, and also AC. What's up, AC? AC did this. And
even better.
So,
gotta love AC.
What am I trying to say? So when I went to the YouTube channel, I'm like, what is this Mike thing?
That's
I have a big banner that says Pink Sock Podcast. Because, are you doing anything else besides?
I was.
Okay, that's right. Gorak gets it. He gets it. Yeah. Rebranding, baby. Rebranding.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's in the process.
I'm gonna then knock on your door because we're both in Arizona.
Yeah. we should meet up. We should meet up and get some blood from the bar or something sometime.
Oh, son of a gun! There is some shows coming out or I'm gonna go out to some shows, so maybe you'll see me in the wild.
Maybe in the wild. You are the wild. What are you talking about?
Yes. The wild comes to the normal stuff. Yeah.
I'm going to give a little shout out here since we are both in Phoenix. Have you ever listened to the band who's also local, Co-op?
I do not know what that is.
Co-op is Alice Cooper's son's band. And they're actually really, really good. They don't get the recognition they deserve because Beasto Blanco is also Alice's child, and everybody storms to that, it seems. But no offense to them. I love Beasto Blanco too. It's just I think both should get the same recognition. My own mom. That's my mom.
Who's putting up the comments? Are you putting up the comments?
No, Naomi is, but that's my fucking mom, so I got to rebrand.
Oh yeah, Usnick. Yeah. Hey, Mama Usnick.
She raised me to be this way.
Does your mom know what a pink sock is? Now she knows.
Yeah, she does. She watches the show. I have to explain to every guest what it is because they ask.
Yes.
So what all you got in the background? Is that all just horror memorabilia, or I see Elvis?
I see the singer from Ghost in there as well.
This is like a game of Where's Waldo.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I know it's back there, but you guys Yeah. See, what do you see? You obviously see Elvis, and there's Ghost, right? What do you
Yeah.
see? And I'll confirm.
I see a bunch of pumpkins.
Okay, correct.
Godzilla.
Jack-o'-lantern. Godzilla, correct. That's
Let's have a
What do they
look.
call
The
it?
goat.
that's correct. Goatman.
Yeah, I'm on a roll here. That means I get free merch, right?
Speaking of Elvis, have you heard Danzig's Elvis album?
You Elvis sings Danzig? Yeah.
Elvis sings Danzig. Could you imagine if Elvis was still alive and did a Danzig album?
I would love that.
Yeah, I reckon his
This is
version of
not-
Mother will be good.
I love Elvis and I love Danzig. Danzig.
Danzig is the metal Elvis. It's,
He is.
speaking of, I really liked Danzig and Alien. Oh wait, no, that's not.
Danzig does not like Danzig memes. Don't be rude to Danzig.
I heard he gets pissed about it.
Yes. And for the record, when I make Danzig memes, I make them lighthearted. And I think, Gorak, have you seen one of my Danzig memes?
I think I have on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah.
It's on my. I've
Either
just
one.
joined TikTok, by the way. So there you go.
Aha. Yeah, when I do it, I make them nice. Like, there's an infamous one where Danzig. All right, so Danzig's girlfriend took a picture of Danzig wrapping a gift, and and it's so oddly normal because he's just like got no shoes on. He's like sitting in her house. It's like he's all in black and he's just like angry wrapping a gift or whatever. And she put it up into like her Instagram story. Somebody saw it, screen grabbed it, put it on the internet. The rest is history. So yeah, that was around Christmas time. Literally, like that just happened. So people were making some mean versions of that. Yes, I did make a Leave Danzig Alone TikTok. That's right.
Is it the style of that Leave Britney Alone video from like the early
Yes.
2000s?
Hashtag free Danzig and Brittany. But,
Did you hear about Britney? They didn't free her, but I saw this meme. You know the guy from the what is that Storage Wars or whatever, where he's like,
it's a shame.
Yeah.
Hashtag really free Britney because like I know a little bit of it and like I've heard her talk about it and she's like
fucked up.
It's very fucked up and she's literally a living legend. Like so you got Madonna who's always been like a queen of pop or whatever, but then like Britney's been around for long enough to be all right. Now you're a legend. So it's like it's a shame that you know a legend, Britney fucking Spears, is dealing with this type of stuff. You know, like, oh, you can't deal with your money, or if you want a baby, you can't have a baby. Like, bitch.
That's fucked up. By the way, I wouldn't have thought in a million years we'd be talking about Britney Spears, but here we are. Oh, that is a fucked up situation, though.
Yeah.
So you jammed to Britney.
Yeah, Britney's cool, man. I like all sorts of things. Like, let's see. Here's some weird ones that you wouldn't think I'd like. The pop version of it. I like Britney Spears, Maroon 5, Lady Gaga, Grimes. What else is there? Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift. Hell yeah, dude. If it fucking bops and it's groovy, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
We need a Calabrese Does Pop album.
Yes.
We do got a little bit of pop elements. Like, if you ever think our songs are catchy, that's just a pop element to it, you know?
Your music is very fucking catchy. I've caught myself dancing to that shit.
Hell yeah. More people need to dance to Calabrese, I swear.
Well, Born with the Scorpion Touch is like my favorite song. That's like so catchy as well. Same with there's an evil inside. That's also catchy as well.
Thank you. Now let me guess. Did you find us during Born with the Scorpion's Touch? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I have this a theory that's always being proven. So people that hello Megan. So the theory is people love what they find first, whatever that is their dopamine hit, like that. So a good portion of people, they always say, I love Doja Cat. Yep. A good comment on the thing. A good portion of people will say, I love the Traveling Vampire Show. That's like my favorite album. Blah blah blah. You never done anything good after that, and that's because they find us during the Traveling Vampire Show, and nothing can compare. It is what it is, and so yeah, I just had an inkling. And Gorak was into Scorpion's Touch, and there you go.
It's really weird.
Sorry, Mike.
Good, Greg.
Because I first discovered you through the Death Comes Lifting podcast.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Because I'm good friends with Zach, and I do a podcast with Zach every Sundays. We do the Sabbath Sundays, like the Black Sabbath Sunday podcast, and I remember because I'm a big fan of AC Slade as well. And I remember seeing AC being on your show, and then like the name Calabrese turned up, and I'm like, these guys sound really familiar from somewhere. Then I went through like the Death Comes Lifting podcast, and I'm like, Davey from Calabrese. I'm like, no fucking way. So yeah, I've just been a fan of this of you guys, and I just went through your Spotify playlist and just hit random, just listen to all your songs, and yeah, it's good shit. So I highly recommend it to people to listen to anyway. So
if you like horror punk, like Misfits, if you like bands like that, Doyle, listen to Calabrese. They're fucking incredible. You guys remind me a little bit of like what would happen if like Tiger Army and 69 Eyes had sex and had a child. That's what we would have.
Well, I said Elvis and the Misfits, and you got those guys.
Yeah.
And maybe Ghost as your step parents or something.
Here's I had this I was doing a live stream and I thought of this. What do you got here? Naomi says, I love the Calabrese music. All right, thank you. So here's something. So people almost every single person, if you like punk rock, you're gonna like at least the original Misfits. Mm-hmm. And they are doing their original lineup stuff, and people say that we're a mixture of Ghost and Misfits. And long story short, Misfits have a really high price tag right now. Same with Ghost. And if you want a Misfits Ghost hybrid to be your that's exactly, dude, exactly, to be your main support, we're a little bit cheaper than a Ghost or a Misfits.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. So if you want the same vibe.
Well, I like this shirt because like Ghost and Misfits are like two of my favorite bands. And I listened to the Misfits like back in high school.
Yeah.
So this is like their tribute to the Misfits.
Would that be considered a Most shirt or a Misfits?
No. But I do like this though. That's a pretty cool. I like the what's his name? Tobias Forge.
Oh yes, Toby.
Yeah, but that's badass.
You know weird it was. You know weird it was back in the day when everybody's like, yeah, that's Tobias, and he's like, no, it's not. And then that lawsuit came out, and it's like, fuck, it's me.
Didn't he like change his name like 3 times?
I heard about that, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, there's two infamous picture reveals. Okay, so do you guys know how to say Nurgle? Is it Nurgle? His first name is like Adam from Behemoth.
Nurgle?
Nurgle.
Something like that.
Nurgle?
He had the first infamous Tobias Forge ghost leak. They were doing like a festival, and they were both wearing sunglasses, hanging out, and he posted it, and it's like, if you have ghost. and people are like, wait a second, what's going on here?
I think you mentioned this on your podcast.
Yeah, he took it down, but then the next infamous one was with Danzig and Steve and stuff like that, and that. So yeah, like the fucking Danzig and Phil Anselmo and Sean and stuff like that, Steve. They were there hanging out, watching the ghost show, and backstage they were taking selfies by themselves, and then Tobias like gets off stage and they took a photo with him, and he has no makeup on or anything, no shirt, no nothing, and yeah, that was the second infamous Nerd Joel. Okay, cool. The second photo. Then people were like, wait a second, and that one got super spread. But yeah, if you didn't know after that, yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, then he started. Then the lawsuit stuff happened, and then he was like, all right, fine. Yeah, he had to, and then like he's like, all right, fine, some unmasked interviews, and there you go. Now it's just like he's plastered all over the place. That's what I'm talking. If you ever see a picture or of him hanging out, we're in the same DNA, dude. Leather jacket, everything. Star Wars pins. Shit like
I love fucking Star Wars.
Yeah. So yeah, I love Ghost as well.
Well, what's crazy, since we're talking about bands that for the longest time you didn't see their face or whatever, there's barely any, if any, recent photos of Doyle without makeup on, and that is fucking impressive in 2021.
Yes, he likes, what's it called, having his makeup on. But you know what? I think Doyle, if he grew his not sideburns, his eyebrows back a little bit, he could pull off. He's a handsome man.
If he grew his sideburns out.
So, a long time ago, when it was when they first started and Doyle joined the band, he had like a more simpler makeup look.
Yeah, just black under the eyes, wasn't it?
Just a little bit of black under the eyes, maybe some on the cheek, whatever. But yeah, and then in the 90s when they did that stuff, he went, balls deep into the makeup, like everybody did. And then he never looked back since. But nostalgia. If he wants eyebrows again,
well,
he could do it.
It's smart because he can go anywhere without makeup on, and nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Well, who's that buff guy over there wearing a Misfit shirt?
He's a fan.
He's a big guy.
Buff dude. He's either wearing a Misfits, Danzig, or Kiss shirt. Who's that guy? But then again, if you don't know, you don't know. Like,
maybe we should ask AC this.
Well, yeah, he walks around without his makeup on, sunglasses and the whole spiel. And his whole thing is you don't get that buff without putting in the work. So before all the shows, he would work out and shit like that. And
when I went and saw Doyle, funny story, the venue it was at, you had to walk up this steep flight of steps, and you had to carry all your equipment up this steep flight of steps. Doyle was playing this venue, and he had a road crew carrying a full workout equipment up these goddamn steps.
You gotta stay buff somehow.
He walked past me, and it was like getting hit by a brick wall. Jesus, get out of his way.
You were shook, right? You're like, he is a giant to a degree. Very tall and very buff.
Mm-hmm. Well, the show I was at,
sweet soul.
The show I was at didn't have a backstage area. He had to walk through the crowd.
Sometimes that happens.
And he ended up elbowing me, and I'm like, oh, I think he broke a rib.
I'm gonna sell this rib on eBay. Doyle touched it.
So we wouldn't be complete. We're talking all this horror rock and stuff, but we are missing one band out of all the discussions. Are you a Gwar fan?
Gwar, yeah, I like Gwar. I like Gwar for their stage show and their look and their fun and kind of like in the way of like Kiss.
It's like vaudeville.
Yeah, it's just it's a good fun time. That's why I like Gwar, and that's why I love Kiss.
And they have balls to write the music that they do, because there's some pretty edgy music.
They're nutty, and they do nutty things on stage for sure.
Yeah, I've seen them live once in Australia. They played a music festival called Soundwave Festival. a couple of years ago, and I actually met the band, and I met the singer before he died.
I met him after he died.
You met the ghost, dude? Shit.
Damn, dude.
He was in
He's
makeup.
like a really nice person, like, which is like a quick hello, and signed their ticket for me and stuff like that, and yeah, still have it though.
When I went and saw them, but they were in what used to be a church. It was called Altar Bar. It was in Pittsburgh. It was like a church, and Guar was playing, and it just happened to be their third song was "Crushed by the Cross" off the recent album. And they brought out a preacher and shoved a crucifix in his ass.
Nutty dudes.
Crazy shit goes on at a Guar show. I was covered in blood, urine. I don't know what was on me, but what's the craziest show you've been to? Like, not been the band, but that you actually have seen?
Let's see. Well, two very, very top favorite ones were Ghost and Rob Zombie. God,
Rob.
Damn. Let's talk about Rob Zombie for a second. Rob Zombie, he was playing. Just think of like a hit song or like a song that has a music video, or just you didn't not recognize all the songs he was playing. You recognized every single song he was playing, and he had like this crazy LED screen behind him with like visuals to fucking pump it into your brain, and he was just like high energy, and he like ran to the crowd. It was a whole thing, and there was like a giant devil on stage.
The crazy fucking creatures he has and shit.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's very reminiscent of Iron Maiden.
Yeah. And then with Ghost, they have like their whole setup and like stairs, and just I love Ghost. And in the stage banter is always fun. He was talking about the rumbling of the stage and like tickling your the sphincter. It's like
tickle your taint.
The taint, yes. You've been to a show.
No, I have a friend that's a huge fan of Ghost, and I hear tickle my taint more than once.
Yes.
I've seen YouTube videos.
Yes, dude.
The thing with Rob, he one time when I saw him, he came out and he had this big robot come on stage, and then it burst into flames, and he walked out of it, and he had a skeleton see-through hand that he was moving around and shit. I'm like, that's pretty impressive.
I love that.
Have you seen Maiden?
I've yet to see Maiden. I wouldn't mind.
Don't
they bring like a big
Eddie.
So it's Eddie, huh? And don't they have like a airplane?
Yeah. When I went and saw them, it was the Legacy of the Beast tour. They had a huge ass fucking airplane on stage.
Yep, there it is.
And they brought Eddie out and sword fought him and all kinds of crazy shit. Like, and Bruce Dickinson sung songs from every era, even albums he wasn't on. Like, he did the Blaze Bayley era, like all of them.
I think he did that in the Book of Shadows tour as well, the last time I saw them.
Mm-hmm. Tobias knows who Calabrese is. So is he a big fan of you guys?
You need to bring him on tour with you guys next, man.
What's that?
You have to bring Ghost on tour with you. Like they have to be the support band, not you guys.
Well, we are blowing up on TikTok. Who's this TikTok band? Ghost's main support.
Yeah.
I actually,
would love to do main support for Ghost. Yeah, like you. It's gonna happen.
Is that your dream show to play with Ghost?
And if it does, please come to Australia.
Well, they would. Where would they go? They would just go around, right? That'd be sick. Yeah, Ghost main support for Ghost would be sick. Main support for Rob Zombie. Main support for Danzig, and for God's sakes, if
Alice Cooper.
Oh yes, Alice Cooper would be great.
Wednesday
would be cool. Yes. Let's see here. What was I trying to say? There's one more. Oh yes, the Misfits. Okay, so if the Misfits actually do a tour and not just do like a one shot here and there, baby. Like, we're gonna be a lot cheaper than the Damned, I tell you.
Think of it as the big four.
Is that your sales point? You're like, we're playing really good music and we're cheaper than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's my pitch now.
But you guys really do really good merch. Like the designs on your t-shirts are badass.
Thank you. Here's a pin that sold out. You can't buy that anymore. But you can get this. You hear that? That's the pentagram.
That's the sound of the demons trying to come out.
Yeah. And the big flash of light will come out.
Hey, when you guys go on tour, I have an idea for promotion.
Go on.
You should use the audio clip of that. Remember that video of that preacher where he's like, I'm in a long tube full of demons? You should use that audio clip.
That would be a great opener.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I've seen that.
I'll have to send you some outrageous preacher clips you guys can use.
Dude, oh my god. Dude, okay. Mr. Pink Sock. if you find those clips of, like, you know, the preachers or just anybody just upset about rock and roll music and Satan or metal music and Satan, dude,
I'll send them to you.
Send them. I can't get enough. Yeah, because those are people love them. I love them too. They're just fun, and I just infuse our music into it, and bing bada boom.
I have one for you then. If you're going to infuse your music, it's this video of this preacher doing like some kind of, I think it's an exorcism or whatever, and everybody in the church is like dancing and like thrashing. It looks like a mosh pit.
Yes, that one. Yeah. Man, those are nutty. Yeah, like all right. So let's talk about that for a little bit. So, what are they called? Mega churches? There's like mega churches that like
televangelists.
There's televangelists, TV people, and they do like the giant mega churches, and they like, oh, I'm gonna, who's like blind? I'm gonna There was, what was it? Some like news thing. They did like an investigative report, and like, it turns out at least one guy was doing this thing where there's like a lady, like his wife or something. He went out to people. Or she went out to the crowd and like, what are you here for? What are you trying to get like healed by? And she was like making notes, sending him like inside information. So like he's not like, oh, God told me, you know, like you're blind and I'm gonna fix you. Yeah, so it was just like a scam, a grift.
You heard about that preacher that there was a huge flood in his hometown and he's up on a hill, so there was no water in his fucking church or whatever. Well, he locked his doors and didn't let anybody in during this flood. And then it came forward and was like, I didn't know I had to open my church for people.
Yes, there is some, you know, like, oh, that's what would Jesus would have done, you know, like he would have helped the people out. Yes. But then again, sometimes, you know, churches are kind of a business as well. And so he's like, my doors are going to get wet.
Well, he was claiming that his church was flooded too, but there's pictures of that day and he's completely dry.
Goddamn.
So what would Jesus do? Catch that motherfucker on fire and send him to hell.
Oh, my goodness. And then there's like, what is it? Like the super church people, they have like tons of money, right? Why do they have tons of money? And big houses and
selling books. And the thing is what you don't realize, what a lot of people don't realize is they don't pay taxes on their private jets and shit because that's part of their church business. Yeah. If we tax churches like that, the United States probably wouldn't have any debt.
That'd be nice.
Right? And if we would legalize pot federally, that would also do away with a lot of people in prison.
Yes.
Did you hear about Oregon?
What about Oregon?
Oregon legalized all drugs.
All of them?
All of them.
Weed?
All of them.
Jeez.
They legalized heroin, meth, cocaine, marijuana.
Those are bad.
Well, their argument was, is if they're going to do it anyway, why fill up our prisons with people just hurting themselves?
Yes. Okay, yeah. Try and rehabilitate those people instead. Yes, that's good. Because it's a whirlwind if you get into that stuff and
Yeah.
you can't get out. Wow. I've seen TV.
Because if you think about it, when people get arrested and get put in prison for doing drugs, that's not helping them. They're going to get out of prison and do it again.
Do it again. Yeah.
So, look at Nikki Six. How are some of those people? How are some of these people still alive from the 80s?
Like specifically Ozzy, like Ozzy.
Ozzy, Keith Richards.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know. You know what? I think it could be a combination of things. Okay, so you say, oh, they should be dead by now, all the drugs and stuff like that. But they got to a point where, let's just maybe stress is the killer.
That's what Ozzy said. Ozzy said he was never stressed.
There you go. So like, stress kills people more. I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but like,
you're not a fucking doctor.
Yeah, I know. Doctor here.
Maybe he is, right?
Well, I actually saw an article that explains this. There's actually a doctor that explained this, I guess. They took Ozzy's DNA and tested it.
Go on.
He's actually part Neanderthal. So he's been able to survive all of this drug abuse because he's not even human. He's part Neanderthal.
Son of a bitch. Aren't we all, though?
Oh, yeah. Funny story behind that. Keith Richards snorted his dad's ashes.
Oh, God.
Now, keep in mind, he announced this during an interview with Disney. He's being interviewed.
The Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah.
Yeah, for Pirates of the Caribbean. And they're like, what's the craziest thing you've done? Now, why would you ask Keith Richards this? And he's like, well, one time I took my dad's ashes and I put it in a little bit of blow and I snorted it.
Hot damn, dude.
And funny story about Pirates of the Caribbean is Captain Jack Sparrow was modeled after Keith Richards. His
Yes, he was, yeah.
bumbling fucking... That's why he played his father.
Hell yeah, dude.
So you know what my favorite horror movie is?
What?
Shazam. If you don't think that's a horror movie, you've never seen Shaq act.
You're a comedian, I see.
You guys should do shows with 69 Eyes. You guys have the similar vibe.
Yes. Yeah. Love 69 Eyes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the Helsinki vampires.
Have you listened to the latest album?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, what did you think of it? I thought it was great.
Yeah. Can't do wrong.
Yeah.
69 Eyes.
Yeah,
69
I think
Eyes, AFI. Fuck yeah, dude.
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical, yes, dude. Dude.
The first two albums, sorry, yeah.
Well, I think there's music, dude. They have music. The pandemic stopped them from doing that giant tour, but I believe once they do their giant tour, they're gonna release some new music. You can't.
They will carry on.
They just sold out. They sold out. They sold out their Australian tour for next year.
There you go. You going to it? Are you?
No, I missed out. I've seen them. The first time I went and saw them was with Jimmy Eat World and Green Day, and that's when Green Day had American Idiot. Around, is it 2001?
Damn. The last time I saw, well, the first and last time I saw My Chemical Romance, they were opening for Blink-182 on the Blink-182 reunion tour when they got back together initially.
Oh, were they main support, or was it just a one-off show?
It was, the whole tour was
Nice.
Blink-182, My Chemical Romance, and the opening act was an act by the name of Matt and Kim. They had like a couple hits back then, and they kind of fell off the face of the earth.
I think Matt and Kim are still doing stuff.
I haven't heard anything by them, but they haven't really been as popular as they once was.
You might Kim.
Matt and Kim, the band Matt and Kim, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are they married, dating, brother and sister? Like, are they White Stripes? like a White Stripes kind of thing?
Yeah, I think they're married. Yeah.
Because that confused me back when White Stripes was a thing. They're like, we're brother and sister. And then they come out and they're actually married.
Now, did they ever actually? Now that could be a thing. Like, did they ever actually say that they were
I don't know.
anything, or was just a
I
lot of
think it
people
was just
assuming
like a big
things?
secret until maybe they said it afterwards. Maybe I
Because
don't
I know
know.
they broke up, like the band
Yeah,
broke up. So I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of
but
like it.
at the time, I think they were divorced too.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like when bands are like dating one another or whatever. Like White Zombie, for instance. Because something bad happens, that band is like in turmoil. Unless you're like, what is it? What is it? Fleetwood Mac just write a song about what a piece of shit he is while he writes the guitar riffs.
That happened to No
That
Doubt as
band.
well.
No doubt, no doubt, it happened 4 times. She wrote a whole album about that motherfucker.
Don't Speak is about him. Yeah. Wow.
And he plays guitar on that track.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just Yeah. All right. Here's some life advice for just people in general, like watching and listening. 100 million people watching and listening to the Pink Sock podcast. Yeah. If you're like in a business relationship and just don't fuck each other. Also, it's like even like in friend groups though, like you can't. I don't care what you say. You can't be friends with somebody you fucked. You could try.
Could you have told me that? Could you have told me that life advice like 3 years ago?
Oh my god. You could
Maybe we
try.
should have discovered these guys 3 years ago. Then we would have taken our advice.
Like, you could try, and I know people like to try, like, oh, we're gonna be friends, and sometimes the rare Charizard, it might work out.
I do have a couple friends that used to bang that are good friends, but it's all a matter of if there was emotions involved,
Yes, emotions. Yep, that's the
How-
biggest player.
how long it took to get to that point of friendship. Because I have a friend that I didn't bang, but we came close, and she kind of like dated somebody else, and I kind of went my own way, and it took like 4 years to actually talk again, and now we're friends. But
Emotions, dude.
I'm like,
Emotions will fuck you.
that should be on a shirt.
Yeah.
Emotions. will
Free
fuck-
idea for you. Yeah.
Calabrese, emotions will fuck you.
That's their new single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like a Frank Zappa song? Emotions will fuck you.
What's
ABBA,
the Panther song?
oh, the entire band ABBA, they all fucked each other, kind of like Fleetwood Mac.
Now, when it comes to like bands and stuff like that, I would say, all right, let's just say you do that type of stuff, right, and then you break up. Now, it really depends. How big is the band? Is it worth it to go through all that emotional stress to continue on with ABBA, which ABBA rules, or even No Doubt and stuff like that? Like Pillars or Hills and shit like that. And I think that is the reason why some people become friends, because you have to.
Well, here's the thing
Forced.
here's the thing that happens in music too. I don't know if you keep up with this or not, but there's some bands that still do shows, but they don't talk to each other. Like the Rolling Stones, for instance, Keith Richards and Mick Jagger went 15 years without speaking to one another. They would do albums and shit. Like he would go in and do the vocal tracks, but they were never in the studio together. Whenever they did live shows, they had their own dressing rooms and they just go out and do the show.
Man, that's a little odd for sure. That something must have happened that made them mad at each other. But
It's like a family. You're going to argue.
yeah, exactly. Like
And for you guys, it is a family.
exactly. So like, if you love the music and try and love each other, you're good. You try and get over it, right?
Mhm.
For instance, if we weren't brothers, real life family, Calabrese is our last name, we probably would have been broken up by now, maybe like 3 or 4 albums ago. So, yeah, everyone has. It's how you handle them, people. It's
Right.
what defines you.
There's a lot of bands that have broken up and tried to stay the band without the core members, and that's hard too. Like Aerosmith, for instance.
Well, as long I see here, that's
Because Joe Perry left. Joe Perry left for a while, and they didn't have any success with their albums after that. And then he came back.
Tricky. Yeah, who's the main songwriter and who is the voice? Because once the voice changes, you're like, wait a second, something's wrong here. You might be able to skip by with a different player doing the other stuff, but yeah, like for instance, we'll just touch on this real quick. When Danzig or Michael Graves took over for Danzig, that whole thing, like
Danzig was the main songwriter, though.
He was. So it not only did the vocals change, the music changed in a certain way.
Although I do like the Michael Graves era, though.
Isn't Misfits and Danzig still in a lawsuit together? Even though they're a band still?
Who knows? But
that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, like, but I will tell you this. I know people give Jerry Only a lot of shit. They're like, oh, he does, Misfits Crocs or Misfits this or that. Like, he does a lot of crazy Misfits stuff. And he did this weird album, or the Nutley Brass. That was an odd one for them to do. But I'll tell you this: if Jerry and Doyle didn't, try and keep it alive in the '90s and go to conventions and shit like that and strike those merchandise deals, there's like these infamous Misfits collections where they didn't. It was like 138 was on that collection. It didn't come out till like the '90s, and I think that was due to because sometimes when you sign up for a major label, they say, "Hey, we're gonna steal your soul for a whole bunch of years. You owe us X amount of albums, like 5 albums or something like that." So they did their albums with Michael, and then they're probably like, "Oh shit, we want to get out of this contract, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Let's take these like old recordings, call them an album, the Misfits Collection 1, 2, or whatever, and those are like the old ones with Danzig and shit like that, and those are the ones everyone talks about." Anyways, bottom line here is, leave Jerry Only alone.
So, what do you think?
He's the reason why we're here.
What do you think of bands though that will fire members but will like take them off an album but replace their track with somebody else playing it? For instance, Megadeth. Dave Ellefson was fired from Megadeth. Dave Mustaine said he's taking his bass tracks off and having somebody else play them. The bass tracks that he wrote.
It's what do you call it? We call it a gray area. It really depends on the band. But yeah.
Well, it happened with Fear Factory as well recently. They just released a new album, and there was like a lawsuit between the singer and Dino because Dino left, and then Bird and C. Bell was still in the band running Fear Factory. And then I think like maybe 6 or 7 years later, Dino came back and released 3 or 4 albums with the band. And apparently Dino still wants rights to the name, to Fear Factory or something like that. But then apparently this is what I've heard, that after Burden laid down his vocals for the new album, they released the album, then he quit.
Touring that new album is going to be tough.
It is, because it's going to be so hard to find a vocalist like him. It's hard because like he's the voice for Fear Factory. Like I'm a big Fear Factory fan.
There are some bands that can pull off a new vocalist, like Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although I do like the Bon Scott era, though. I grew up with that era, though. But, yeah.
I was impressed with Axl Rose, the live shit I saw.
Yeah, because you're singing songs that they weren't playing live in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Because I love Brian Johnson, but he has one set vocal style.
Elmo, yes.
Yeah.
And I love AC/DC, so I can say that.
Although I would love to see him live, though. They're one of the bands I would like to see live. Maybe you should guys open up for them.
Here's a story about
Calabrese opens up for AC/DC.
dude.
Both the
When there's like this time period in everyone's life where you're like, all right, people are showing me music or whatever. I hear shit on the radio, or whatever. But once you go out and you find your own music, and the stuff that spoke to me first was AC/DC. I just fucking loved it. I was just like, you know, the riffs and just made you rocking. So AC/DC, I guess, would be one of my first music loves for sure. And but yeah, the Misfits and stuff like that was shown to me by my brothers. But Misfits and Danzig. But AC/DC I found. Yes, a very unknown band, AC/DC. But
who's that?
Yeah, exactly. Like I love them. AC/DC and Black Sabbath. The you know what? The riffs drew me in. I just thought they were really awesome. They're awesome.
Do you like Sabbath, like the Dio era, the Tony Martin, Ian Gillan, or are you a Ozzy Osbourne guy?
You know, I like Dio in general, but Black Sabbath is Ozzy. You know, he's the singer. He's the guy, you know, like, so, you know.
Let me tell you something.
You got Ozzy people on the show now, man.
When I went and saw Ozzy, he was solo, but he's funny as shit. Like, if you're gonna see Ozzy, he's funny as fuck and doesn't mean to. He went to introduce his band, and he was like, "I wrote Blasker on the bass. I wrote Zach Wild on the guitar, and my drummer. What the fuck's his name?"
I got one cool Aussie experience. I went and saw Black Sabbath at the end tour, the final.
Oh, fuck you. I was supposed to see them on that.
And I bought tickets for the VIP sound check. So I get to see him do the sound check before the show. And I was up front, and like they had like Tony Iommi fucking around with his guitar, Tommy Clufetto's banging on the drums, and he started hitting that kick, that douche, douche, douche. I'm like, oh, I think I might know what it is. Ozzy just comes up, grabs the microphone, he looks at me, he goes, I am, man. I'm like, oh shit. and then I had like some chick behind me just screaming, I love you. I'm like, bitch.
Ozzy doesn't walk, he shuffles.
Ozzy's looking at me, not you.
Yeah. It's just like, wow, man.
You know what's funny thing?
The coolest experience ever.
Did you notice this though, Greg, when you saw Black Sabbath? I noticed this when I saw Ozzy. Ozzy does this thing at his shows, and watch of live video, and you'll see what I mean. He will grab the microphone, remove it from the microphone stand, and will sing, and it'll never actually make its way back to the microphone stand. Like, he'll go to put it on there, and then he'll remove it again.
Yeah.
And he'll do that over.
That's like his signature stage move.
Did you get blasted with the water cannon, or does he do that with?
No, I was actually. He does, but he was doing it in the middle of the crowd because I was standing right next to where Tony Iommi was playing. Because as a guitar player, as myself, I was like watching Tony Iommi. What's he playing there? Am I playing this right now? I was playing this all wrong. It's a guitar player thing. That's what guitar players do. So
Tony Iommi is amazing because he plays with no fingertips.
Really?
He's missing these 3 fingertips.
Wow.
He was working a factory job when he was young and got them cut off.
Yeah. Apparently he was substituting for somebody, and because it wasn't his spot, and he didn't know how to do it. So when he was pushing this is what I've heard and read by memory. It was when he was pushing the metal sheet through the machine. You were meant to take your hand out quickly. He was too slow, and it just like the tips.
Ooh, just the tip.
Yeah.
You can actually
Pink sock.
You can actually see pictures of that on Google. I'll probably send you pictures of it or something like that. It's
Of a pink sock or of Tony's hands? Greg's over here in the bathroom taking pictures of himself in a mirror. Here's my pink sock.
Man.
2.0.
That goes to show you, like, that's quite a disability, right? Your
Yeah.
little finger nubs.
And he can't feel the strings that he's
That's why he
playing.
has these plastic things on his
Fingertips.
fingertips. Yeah, like he gets them made.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's great. He's like one of my guitar idols. He's one of the most guitar like players I look up to. So,
If I'm not mistaken,
and your brother as well. So there you go.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't Iommi and Geezer Butler the main songwriters of Sabbath?
Yeah.
So that's why the band was able to do what they did. But
and Bill Ward as well. Bill Ward's written some good shit.
If you guys like this podcast and you like Davey Calabrese, if you don't, we know where you live and we will have your blood on his forehead. But if you like podcasts, check out Calabrese's Mystic Cult of Horrors podcast, and you can find Calabrese on all social media. You can find them on Facebook, Calabrese666, Instagram, Calabrese666. Twitter, Calabrese666, TikTok, Calabrese666, YouTube, Calabrese. They're not on OnlyFans yet. They're working on it. They're working on making an OnlyFans. And we have Calabrese. It was nice talking to you. Is there anything you wanted to promote?
Oh,
Hail Dracula?
Hail Dracula, indeed. Hail Dracula, boys. I don't hear it from you, Mike. Hail Dracula.
Hail Dracula.
You gotta watch his live streams, Mike. Come on, dude.
Hail Dracula.
That's right. So
Christopher Lee's a god.
So with that, the story about Hail Dracula. Like, how do I explain this? I was doing like TikTok live streams, and a good portion of TikTok is a bunch of Satan shit. Good fun Satan shit, and I was doing a TikTok live stream looking like this, right? And just having fun saying Hail Satan in the TikTok stream. But then so how TikTok live stream works is people that follow you will know that you went live, but then random people will be showing your stuff.
Yeah, like for your page kind of stuff, right?
Bingo, you know. And so random people were showing up and being like really upset. And like about Satan and shit, and then inevitably, they were like reporting the live stream because I was just being silly and looking the way I do, and so I flipped the script and now it's Hail Dracula. Like, what's wrong with
that? That was the reason why you couldn't say Satan, because every time when you said it, you go Hail Dracula.
Exactly, dude.
That's just, I'm just like, come on, dude.
What was the name of that vampire movie before Dracula? You know what I'm talking about?
Nosferatu.
Hail Nosferatu.
Nosferatu works.
Maybe she could just start saying that now.
The reason why Hail Dracula works is, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Christopher Lee, who played Dracula, actually released 3 metal albums before he died at the age of 90.
He did. The rules.
And it also, I believe the album featured one of Iron Maiden's guitarists.
Really?
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Adrian Smith?
No, I forget which one, but I know it's not Adrian.
Yannick Gilles.
I don't know. I don't know who it was, but I saw it online whenever I was going through the fucking personnel. I'm like Donald Trump. Don't fact check me. I could be wrong. So if you guys do any shows in Arizona, let me know, because I'll be there.
Follow some bands in town. That's how you know right away if we're in your area.
Well, I live in Phoenix, but I'm originally from Ohio, so I might be back in Ohio. But you guys need to come out there too.
There you go. Yeah. As far as shows, bands in town, it's great app to follow us on. Like you said, all the shit, TikTok, follow us on there. Buy some merch, calabrese.com, pentagram, demon shit. Yeah.
Impress your
and,
date with some Calabrese merch.
That's right. And
I
yeah,
would.
thank you for having me on. Thank you
No
for
problem.
everybody watching and listening. And
If you want to come back on the Pink Sock, you're more than welcome. Anytime.
We're trying to get Eric 13 from Combi Christ on here. I've been chatting to him because I'm on his Patreon. And I mentioned about it, and then he reposted one of my stories. He goes, you mentioned about a podcast you're having Calabrese on, because that's how I first discovered him, is from you guys. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you're more than welcome to come on the show, man. Like, just let me know, and I'll send the emails out or whatever.
Eric 13, Wednesday 13, John 5, and Nikki 6 should start a band.
Did you? And Nick 13. Don't forget Nick 13. Oh, did you say Wednesday 13?
Yeah,
all the 13s.
Wednesday and the 13 should be the name of the band.
Nick 13, Eric 13. Oh yeah, Eric 13, Nick 13, Wednesday 13. Yeah, all the 13s. And just maybe just call it 13.
The 13 tour. The 13 from hell.
No, Lucky 13.
Yeah, love Eric. And
he's a cool dude. Like, I sent him the link to this show, so hopefully he's watching.
Eric, if you're
come on our Pink Sock.
Come on my Pink Sock. But Dave, stay in touch, brother. Do you prefer Davey, David, Daverino, Fang Bang and Dave? What do you expect?
whatever you vibe with, as long as you call me.
Is that what you tell all the ladies? I don't care what you call me, as long as you call me. Do you wear the teeth in the bedroom? You should.
What do you think?
Blood isn't the only thing I suck. I'm giving you ideas.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just pop them out, bing, bong, boom, baby.
We should bring you back on, but next time we should have the whole gang on.
The brothers.
Ooh, those guys are hard to get. The only way you can get all three in one room is if
we go on your show.
Well, we need to get more famous and be on your podcast then.
What do you want that?
Do you have a band?
Here, for God's sake.
No, but
I noticed that later. Pocket Size Wayne. I love The Rock.
I can
we
actually.
got like similar tattoos and shit. So.
Shit.
Garak does play an instrument, so we could start a band tomorrow. Hemorrhoid Mike and the Anal Fishers. Let's do this.
You're on drums. I'll play guitar. He plays cowbells, triangles.
No, I just play it myself.
Yeah. And you can get your brothers to help in as well. So there you go.
It was nice talking to you, Davey. You're more than welcome back on the Pink Sock anytime. It's been a pleasure. Listen to Ghost, listen to Calabrese, follow Calabrese.
We can do it at the same time.
Follow Calabrese on all social media. Check out their podcast. And before we go, we do have a new series coming to Pink Sock Podcast called Tower Stories with Jeff Towers. He was a guest that was on the show a couple weeks ago. He's a he's not a roadie, but he's a local production assistant. He drove around Dio. He's driven around Cheech and Chong. He took care of, I think, Snoop Dogg, he said on the show. He's taken care of a lot of great musicians. You might meet him in the future. Go
to Canada.
It was nice talking to you, Davey. Stay in touch. I'll send you all them preacher videos. And remember.
Yes, rock and roll.
And remember, live long, rock hard.
Hail Dracula.
Hail Dracula!